Hey y'all, what's up? So sometimes people will give their opinions to you quite loudly. And sometimes your flesh wants to just lash out because you are so angered. You feel sickened by what you've just heard because you know what you heard is just drenched in evil, and it is sin, and it is the ways of this world, and then you instinctively want to lash back out at them. But then you have to remember that we are called to love the sinner and hate the sin. And yesterday, I spent some time with my niece and my sister-in-law, killing time before I had to go pick up my husband at the airport. And yes, we had a wonderful time. We had a great time. But there was some incidences where Satan really tried to stir the pot, and he tried to cause conflict. And he tried to cause what I believe to be a big, huge fight between me and my sister-in-law. He tried to use the fact that I love the Lord and that I had a different opinion, worldview than what my sister-in-law had. And I allowed her to speak her piece. And I told her my personal opinion on things. But I did it with love. Even though my flesh wanted to lash out in such anger because I was sickened and I hated the sin that I was hearing, and I didn't realize how deep she was into woke culture. I had no idea. And it made my heart hurt. It literally made me want to cry out, lash out. But instead of lashing out and in hatred, I lashed out in love, grace, and mercy. I let her know that I respected her choice and opinion. I let her know that I had a different opinion. And I asked her to respect my opinion, and I don't think she fully respects my opinion, but we had a understanding to where we could change the subject and we could focus on my niece and have a good time. Sometimes when you get the truth out to people and you speak the truth of the King, people don't want to hear the truth. They're so wrapped up in the lie that the devil has made that lie becomes their truth, and any real truth that is given to them is like nails on a chalkboard. It is the most disgusting thing to them, and it irritates them, and it makes them sick to the point where they want to reject it. So what do you do in that situation? You show them the love of the Lord. You do not lash out. You let them speak their piece. And you say, okay. And then you pray for them. You give it to God. You give it to the Lord. You do not give devil the victory. You give Jesus the victory, and you pray over them and you bless them. What's that verse say? Pray for those who persecute you and bless those who mock you, or something to that effect. But basically, You pray for your enemy. You pray for people who disagree with you. You bless those who have the hatred for the truth, because we're showing the love of the Lord. And I'm probably about to get looked at really weird because I'm talking in my camera. Like, literally nobody. But, you know what? I don't really care. But showing people the love of Jesus is so precious. It is amazing. And you know what? When we show the love of Jesus, little seeds get planted, even when we don't even see them. And we have to water them by praying over these people, because we don't know what Jesus has planned for their lives. And we have to respect their choice to choose, because Jesus gave us the choice to choose. Sorry, y'all. I feel like something just got caught in my throat. I don't know what it was. But people have a choice to choose who they want to believe, how they want to think. If they want to reject the truth of Jesus, people have that choice. They have free will. And we have to respect that. And we have to do it with love and compassion. And we have to make sure that Jesus is in the center of whatever we do. And sometimes what we do is some of the hardest stuff that we do. Because Jesus said that following him was never going to be a cakewalk. It was never going to be easy. You're going to have to face difficult and hard situations. And sometimes you have to shut your mouth and just pray for that person. Sometimes you just have to speak the truth in love and leave it there. And deny your flesh. Because your flesh will get you in trouble every time. But following Jesus and doing what is right will give you the best love that you have ever known. And I believe that God's going to move in a mighty way. I just don't know how yet. But when he does, it's going to be the best thing ever. And another thing that was kind of brought to my attention, I talk about a relationship with Jesus. And yes, having a relationship with Jesus is one of the best things, because Jesus wants that personal, intimate relationship with you. But I do understand that there are some people that come to Jesus on their deathbed, at the last moment of their life, and they don't have that chance or opportunity to build a relationship with Jesus. I know that personally, and I understand that personally. The story of my grandpa and the way that he gave his life to the Lord, I truly believe that in that moment a relationship was made without building that slow relationship, because my grandpa knew where he was going. There's a whole story that I really don't have time to get into right now, but I did make a story. I did tell you guys about it. But I will make another one if you guys want to hear that story. But I do understand there are some people that will give their life to Jesus and not have the chance or the opportunity to build that relationship with Jesus. And you know what? In that situation, you don't have to have a relationship with Jesus, because he's going to make one with you in heaven. But if you have the special opportunity to give your life to Jesus and start building a relationship with him while you're still here on this earth, it's one of the most incredible things you will ever have. Because he is your foundation. He's everything. And that's why I talk about my personal relationship with Jesus. And that's why I encourage you guys to start having a relationship and not a religion with Jesus. Because you know what? Having a relationship with Jesus, all that religious stuff, it follows because you line up with Jesus. The closer you are to him, the more you line up with Jesus. It is so amazing, because without him, I would not be where I am today. Without my personal relationship with Jesus, I would not be with him today. And Jesus does say that he wants to know you. He wants to have the relationship. And I know there are certain situations where you may give your life to the Lord one day. You may give your life to the Lord like in a church building, and then you walk out the building and you're dead. Something happens and you don't have that chance. You don't have that opportunity. That's not going to keep you from Jesus. Knowing that you want a relationship with Jesus, even if it is in that last final moments, it's your heart. Jesus wants your heart. He knows your heart. And your heart has to be all about Him and wanting to be with Him and make that connection with Him. Because I'm telling you, it's the best thing you'll ever experience. It'll be the best thing in your life. Everything else falls into place when you have a relationship with Jesus, and you can get through those hard times, and you can become the person that Jesus has called you to be. Some people don't get that opportunity or that chance to build a relationship with Jesus. I'm so grateful that I did, and that I do have that opportunity. But if you don't have that opportunity, please do not be discouraged by me saying that a relationship with Jesus is so important, because it is important. But if you don't get that opportunity, it's okay. Just as long as you have a heart to want to know Jesus and you believe in His finished work and you ask for His forgiveness, you are saved and sealed to the day of redemption. I hope you guys have a good day. I really need to get into the store. All right. Bye, you guys.